So, if you were not on social media, or if you were me who woke up at 5 a.m. and got the notification and just could not believe what I was reading, Luka Doncic was traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and a first round pick in like 4 years or something like that. And to which there's a lot of conversation of, is this like collusion? I can't believe they got rid of Luca because he's fat. Did they think they actually had Zion Williamson? Like, who knows? Um, I kind of just had this thought, and everybody was posting it on social medias. Explain this in baseball terms, explain this in NFL terms, explain this in USL terms. Well, that's what we are here to do. So, if we are trying to do this kind of example, we are looking for a player in their prime, still up and coming, about to reach their prime, one of the best players in the league, for another player who's really, really good, but clearly on the decline, possibly even different types of players. Now, I had a thought, and this is part of it's a little bit Homer, part of it's a little bit just recency bias. But my kind of thought process was 2024, Nick Marcanic being traded for Enzo Martinez. Two very good players. Both of them are going to be producers, different types of players, one clearly on the decline, one clearly on the incline. That was kind of where my head went.
I like it. I like it. I was kind of trying to include like the team context into it. So if you think about the Lakers, that's a team that's got like the bona fide superstar in LeBron, who he's still got it, but he's not going to carry the load on his own. For me, there's kind of a Sacramento comparison there. Where you've got Roro, that's the guy, that's the legendary presence. In this case, they're dealing somebody who's kind of like hanging his hat on the defensive impact in Anthony Davis. That's a Danny Vitiello for me. Now, if you're talking Dallas, that's a team on the come up. They've got an offensive player, a distributor who's really like carrying the load. Took Dallas to the finals last year. Not really a one-to-one in the USL, but I think the best fit for me was someone like a Valentin Noel, like a star distributor for a team on the rise with that real arc. So Vitiello for Noel doesn't really capture the age thing, but I think in terms of like the team context and the magnitude of the players being moved was the best thing that I was able to come up with.
Okay.
I think it's like if El Paso Locomotive actually got something for Diego Luna.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Diego Luna moving to Real Salt Lake and a good defensive player going back the other way would have been. So I'm not sure if that says something, but yeah. No, I was thinking to is like there was somebody with Anthony Davis. I was thinking about similarly about the defensive contributions, and someone like sort of Forrest Lasso was coming to mind of like a guy like on the like later in his career, like physically maybe not at the same level as a player moving the other way, but like so that was one where I was thinking maybe he's the Anthony Davis, and but yeah, John, I like I like the Sacramento angle for the Lakers because it feels fitting.
Forrest Lasso for Jorge Hernandez was my backup, so yeah, glad we're on the same page there. Yeah,
I tried to shoehorn a Forrest Lasso personally.
Yeah, I was echoing Kaylor's sentiment with Nick Marcanic, and it would be if Charleston was willing to sell Nick Marcanic for very little return and to say we're bringing back Dane Kelly as our replacement to come in for him, who ironically, Dane Kelly, born on February 9th, 1991, is the next day on February 10th is Max Christie's birthday.
Have to work in the Max Christie angle.
Can't forget. And who's the random Utah team that we can just throw in that just gets things? Who can we just say you get stuff?
I guess that is the Real Salt Lake.
Real Salt Lake.
Oh my God, we got Diego Luna.
Yeah. and to Nicholas's point, I know they did actually get compensation. I think in relative terms, I think we can say that it was not enough, especially given the relative trajectories of organization since then. But yeah,
Sure. All right. Any any final Luka Doncic thoughts? No, I
it's
just
very
want.
rare that a sports transaction transcends the sport.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
was weird. Like Luka Doncic being like pop culture news is kind of wild. Like it's like the Grammys were going on and Luka Doncic was being talked about.
I saw the Luka Doncic news break on r/baseball. Oh, and I was just like, wait, what? Someone had asked, like, what's the baseball equivalent of this? And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
So I've been, as long as I can remember, I've been a Mavericks fan just because when I was like really young, I was just obsessed with Dirk Nowitzki. I just thought the fadeaway was just, I couldn't believe it. So I just became obsessed with them. And when I woke up that morning and I saw the Athletic notification, like I've never been so wide awake as soon as I've woken up in my entire life. I could not believe what I was reading. Just unreal. I mean, just the quotes are funny to me. Like there's the press conference of the Mavs GM and
I never
uh,
do anything scary.
Jason Kidd, and then Jason Kidd just wants to kill him. And I don't know. It just really cracks me up. Everything about it I mean, and now that I'm over it, I'm not even over it. I want to say I'm done with the Mavs at this point, but it does just make me laugh. I don't know.